Oh, it's in this parking lot. What's up, y'all? I'm back. Alright. I just seen the Dark Phoenix X-Men trailer and we gotta get into it. It was only like 2 minutes long and I don't have any notes right now, but brother, when I say how it came on and how many spiritual ties it have considering the state of the America, and it's so many different perspectives that we can dive into. And just the first one I thought about, the biggest thing when y'all watch the trailer, they focused on Professor X and the Dark Phoenix or Phoenix's relationship and how he's truly the reason that she's going off on this tangent and off on this rant. And it's because pretty much the full truth had been hidden from her, and then I forgot who said it, but she was like, "That's a word. It's a word for that, and it's called lying." And if we look at government, we look at parents, we look at education, we look at almost every system that we have has been lying to us. Like the truth is like it's been hidden from us, and no matter if it's some Santa shit from I mean, it's many shit, man. It's many shit, man. This dog out here hunting. This dog been out here for days. Like he was by the stove on the other side of the street, but now this nigga like on some other shit. Like he in this school parking lot just running around like looking for some shit. Nigga bad. It's a German Shepherd too. He gonna fuck some shit up one of these days. But yeah. I mean, just getting into it more. It's like we see it all the time. I talk about with Santa and shit being funny, but like it's little things like that where they practice hiding and what do you call it? Um, it's not even. I don't, the word not coming to me right now. Rearranging the truth. Like yeah, you receive presents, but it's not from Santa. But for some reason, you gotta lie. Like why do you give a whole nother energy source to this character in the sense that's like nigga? My mom used to, for example, my mom used to always be like, nigga, I bought the presents. Like, I'm not about to tell you it's some other person doing it when I put all this work in. So, I thank me, thank my energy that I did, love me for that energy that I put in for you to get you these presents. Don't be thanking no damn Santa Claus. And it's the same kind of shit with other energies. Like, we put too much interpretation or too much power and shit, and then we really wake up, we be like, bro, like, we gave these niggas power when we had the power the whole time. And y'all gonna see that with Phoenix because she gonna want to break out, and she just get tired of the shit that's been told to her, bro. And that's pretty much a lot of Americans today, or you could say millennials or whatever. But another part of the trailer was they said Professor X always got a speech and nobody want to hear it. It's like, bro, I live on both sides of the expression because I'm the one that's always talking. Nobody want to hear me, but in that sense of the nigga that's like when we get to that point where nigga ain't no like we're not trying to hear that Martin Luther King speech no more. Fuck all that peace shit. Fuck all that kumbaya shit. At some point, it's a time for separation. There's a time for war. Like if you I break down that part of the Bible all the time. But it's a season for everything. So at one point it ain't gonna be a season for peace. Like I mean, I ain't gonna say it ain't gonna be a season for peace, but it won't be the season of peace. So we gonna have to be doing a life a little bit different, bro. And it's because of the circumstances that's been handed to us. And the biggest shit is, and I'm rocking with it, bro. You have reasons to fear us. Like fuck it, bro. The reason, and it's not our fault. It's the systems that you placed on us to hold us down and capitalize on us. Now will be broken because we rising up and we won't be shackled to these systems anymore. So yes, it's technically against us because you chose to be that threat ever since birth, bro. You put us in debt. Like that shit wrong, that shit funny. But honestly, and that's another aspect of it. Like this is the shit that, like, of course, we look at the movies and you're like, oh, that's a good movie. But look at how these movies tie into our shoes and how we could look at these things and see how they placed on us, like these mutants and shit like that. Bro, we already know how they're referring to minorities and the people that are outcasted. Even if you look at the Jews, like that's where Magneto was. He was in a Jew camp. So even they just talking about that pressure of being an underdog, that pressure of being in pain, that pressure of going through traumatic experiences, being those impoverished kids that still rose up regardless of the fact. And that's most of the minority. So you can't like that. Like I mean, I ain't even saying you can't say it's not us, but If you want to include yourself in there because you feel like you got some type of pain, I don't give a fuck. But for the most part, we know, like, bro, who do they treat like mutants? Who do they treat like this? Like, bro, that story truly affects us. What we can stand in these shoes and see how it reflects to us. So now when they start getting into these deeper messages, bro, like, um, Phoenix went to Magneto in the trailer and he was like, "You didn't come for me for questions. You came to me for confirmation." And that shit there is the truth, bro. Because when we be praying and shit, we be trying to like the shit that you pray for, nigga. You not. I'm not gonna put everybody in the same category, but for the most of the part, you praying for some shit you think you need. Like, nigga, you're not asking for some shit that you missing or some shit that's like short sighted in a sense. Like, say if you feel like you just blinded or something, it's a different story. Like I said, everybody different. Everybody don't pray the same. I don't even pray, but for the most part, just because I seen Flightboys talk about this shit, but for the most part, there's spectrums from everything in a sense. But um, yeah, bro, like if you asking for certain shit, bro, what am I saying? What am I saying? Why did I even get into that? Fuck it. I don't know. I got into that. I got off topic. But asking for when you're praying shit, you're asking for the shit that you really want. So in the same sense, it's like, nigga, go get it. Like, that's how I'm looking at it. Like, unless you asking God to directly hand it to you, or I think subconsciously when we pray, we asking, is it right to do these things? Let me know, is this right to do these things? And then shit, most of the time people pray and go to church and go right back to doing the same shit they were doing, so maybe they feel more justified after they pray about what they're doing. So that makes more sense. Like, there's confirmation to yourself, confirmation to the prayer, whatever. And I already talked about this, and we already have the tool, so God not really gonna give us any more guidance than the guidance that we already got. So you pretty much just gotta believe in yourself and walk your own path. And that kind of goes into it too. Like, we're not looking for really no answers. We're looking for confirmation at certain points for sure. Because this levels to it. If you look at Phoenix, she went from probably questioning shit, not really understanding shit, to Professor X hiding shit and not really telling her the full truth about shit. And when she really get around people, she start to see how people really are. And those truths that have been told to her truly holds her back, and it bottles up in a sense. And it makes it levels. Like, you go through the questioning process, and then you go through the understanding, then you go through that confirmation process. It's not asking questions anymore when your foundation when your foundation of truth gets so big. It's like, nigga, you already asked so many questions, bro. It's time to start confirming the answers that you got, type shit. So, like I said, this movie got a lot of breakdowns. If they already talk about end of the world reference. If I go there, bro, that's a given. Like, that was the apocalypse thing. Shit, if you listen to Lil Wayne album Carter 5, the shit everywhere. Everybody talking about the end of the world. And it is. It's the end of the world as we know it, and you should fear it if you're trying to hold on to this shit, because this shit is holding us back. And if you holding on to this shit, bro, you're an enemy. That's like somebody holding on to slavery when slaves was trying to break out. We are fucking slaves inside of this system. They are capitalizing on us, bro. And when we wake up, they're not going to like that shit because their systems will fail. The end of the world as we know it. That's what they always say. So peep that shit. And that's what I ain't going to really get into the end of the world, because people think it's going to be a fucking destruction. It's like, no. The mutants are going to take over. That's what the end of the world is for in the X-Men movie. For the government, for the American people, or for the worldly people, the mutants are going to take over. It's going to be their world, because they know they can't coexist with people that's trying to hold up a system that's been putting down the mutants the whole time, been hiding the mutants, been not truthful for the mutants. Like, bro, they ain't about to take out these supplementary programs and COINTELPRO and all this shit where I can get a job. Nah, I ain't trying to do all that shit, nigga. We want freedom right now at this moment, and we got the power to fucking take it. Ain't no asking questions. Like, and Phoenix it was like, I see evil in her eyes. Magneto's I seen evil before, and it's standing in front of me type shit or something like that. And I just think it's interesting that Apocalypse was the man, and Phoenix was the one. I mean, and they're both. They're right back to back, and it's the same characters and all that shit. So it's like you have the masculine, logical way of destruction. No more weapons, no more weapons, no more superpowers, no more all that. And then you get the emotional end of it, bro. And they both shit. I think if Apocalypse not dead, shit, bro. If him and Phoenix come together, or Magneto become that destructive and take up that force shit, there it goes. And we've seen Magneto and Phoenix before in the other series of X-Men, but whatever it is, we already seen how Magneto turned into a god because he can pull up shit from under the ground and shit like that. So he already tapped into it in the sense of he owns some shit. And so in that same sense, like yeah, you get the masculine end of the masculine idea of the apocalypse, and then you get the feminine, and Phoenix is that fire or whatever. And you look at Phoenix, you can find that shit everywhere, bro. Rebirthing, renewal, all that shit, and you get it in the Harry Potter films, all that shit. So Phoenix is just because it's on fire don't mean it's over. Like it's at the end. It means it's about to be some type of renewal. If you look at the same process happened to Earth, well, that's what they told us happened to us when we was in volcanoes and all that shit, and that's where it created new land. So from fire you get new life, and that's what this Phoenix movie is in a sense. That shit, Apocalypse. I don't really want to get into him, but he was blue for a reason that kind of symbolizes. I ain't gonna say water, but that's you get that idea in a sense. Yeah, blue has a lot of other spiritual meanings. I'm not sure completely, but I remember a dude breaking it down and talking about like blue ribbons and stuff you see on certain black people, and it just mean that they're that blue is a signification of royalty or something like that. But I'm not 100%. But Chronicles of Judah, I think it's one of them Judah dudes. They break down the movies. They're in my playlist. If y'all want to go through it. It's the dudes that break down the movies. He break down Bright. He break down a bunch of different other movies. He break down shit. All the movies that deal with black people and their understanding and struggle. But what's the last little? I'm trying to think of anything else I could think about in the little trailer. I mean, I got to the three major points I wanted to talk about, but she's gonna embody fire, like, and when I say embody, like, at the end of the trailer, the fire is going inside, like, coming together, combining to come. Then I think combust is an internal thing. To combust, you explode from the inside. So she like sucked in all the fire, and then I guess I'm assuming that she's gonna explode. She don't have to, but I feel like she's gathering up there. Like it looked pretty, it looked like art when they showed it at the end of the trailer. But I'm assuming she's gathering that power to use it like a chi or some shit, and that's what we're doing. We're gathering our foundation. We're sucking in that energy back. We're reclaiming our power, bro, and it's we're going to be able to explode because we're already powerful now. Just to be able to reclaim our power back, that means that's power in that. Like to know that's just something to reclaim, that's power in that. It's levels to it, but it's power in it. Like I said, even in the movie, in the trailer, they showed the stages where she started to reclaim her power back. First, it was just like inkling, because I'm sure when she crashed or whatever, she got nervous or something and she caused a wreck. But she probably didn't know. Like I'm sure it was some misguidance there. That's the biggest part of the trailer, anyways. Like I said with Professor X and how he sheltered her from the truth. And you hear the government, bro. They say like the American public is too fragile to handle the truth. The the masses is the masses period is just too weak to handle the truth. So the fact that they think of you like that, think how deeper that goes and how much shit they feel like we have to do in the bigger scheme of things, because if we told them, we wouldn't be allowed to do it because there'd be too much panic, but we have to do it for us to survive, almost like Thanos. That's the craziest shit. The government act more like Thanos than any spiritual person or any spiritual entity that you even would think of that's out there in the world. Any Lucifer or devil, the government is portraying that shit right now today with Thanos, bro. Like in the sense of doing shit for the greater cause. Like when you look at the Georgia Guidestones and you talk about population control. We see it happen in China. We see it with all the clinics and shit. That's in the especially in the hoods. What are those things called? What the fuck are those things called? Y'all know the abortion clinics, but they call it something. Uh, Plan Now or some shit. But yeah, bro, like that. It's the same idea where Thanos was like, we're gonna do it for the greater good. Even though he told you what was going on in a sense, it's that same kind of energy where y'all niggas wasn't agreeing with Thanos. I guarantee you. So like, bro, watch how the government treats us, and they do that same way of like, y'all don't really understand. And for the most part, we could see how the niggas didn't understand how powerful and what Thanos is really coming from, but I'm not giving the same. I'm not giving the government the whole idea of Thanos, but you can see how they play aspects of that shit. And if y'all ain't like Thanos, bro, you peep government and see how they similar. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just a spiritual breakdown of the little trailer I seen, man. It was amazing. It don't come out till next year, February 12th, but definitely gonna be ready for it to come out. Trying to just think of anything else that I thought about while watching the trailer before I get out of here. Mm-hmm. No, but for the most part, last thing I'll say is you can see how these movies are just old stories played back and back and back. And if you can look in this shit has revelations written all over it, just like Apocalypse had revelations written all over it. They already talking about the end of the world, so you can tie certain shit into it and understanding. Like I said, it's just the end of the world as we know it. So don't get so caught up in it. And I mean, if you holding on to this world, it's the end of your world. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Like, bro, you're losing your power every day as we speak. You really don't have no power in this world, honestly. Like, not the day-to-day citizen, not the average masses. So, I mean, unless you some big elite listening, that's a big difference. That's the difference. Then you losing power every day with this information age and the understanding this. Every day we understand ourselves more and how we spend and all the different little shit, spending habits, diet habits, all these shits, breatharian, all these different shits hitting the pockets. Like they say, millennials are the reason why the economy is bad because we don't have any money to spend and we spend our money wisely. And that same aspect is like we're starting to value shit that's more self-worthy, where we don't have to go out and spend to do all these things that other groups used to have to do, or we're more self-efficient. So that hits the pocket. So like I said, it's many physical and spiritual examples that you can see how the world that we're in now is losing power, and the economy won't be able to live any longer because I mean it's living now, but it won't be able to keep surviving in the sense of think about it like this, bro. Rory on the Joe Budden show said something. He was like, "How is that possible, where everybody eats in a situation of capitalism?" And I had to think about it. How is it possible? Is it possible? And it's not happening in this society. It might be possible. Capitalism could be good if everybody was eating, but I'm like, something would be losing because you got to capitalize on something. So it most likely be Earth, but then somebody had to cultivate Earth, so then they're losing. So that's where you get that. Somebody has to lose in capitalization. It might not be a direct thing close to you, but it'll move in closer to home as capitalization moves close. I mean, grows stronger, but it's growing weaker because, like I said, the shit that we going through, and yeah, man. I mean, they're losing their power and they know it. You just have to understand what side you're gonna be on. In the sense of, I talk about not choosing sides in a lot of my other spiritual shit, but you get what I'm saying. I ain't even getting into that. Y'all know what I'm about. Don't choose sides, but in this case and scenario, the new world that we trying to create, bro, you best believe you don't want to be stuck in this same paradigm that we've been in. Even if it's a new reflection of that paradigm, best believe we're going to a more powerful version of ourselves, even if it's a reflection. Because I talk about this. This don't got shit to do with the movie. This is, for example, I talk about how women being capitalized on by men for years. Now they're trying to capitalize on themselves. It's a new paradigm. Or it's the same paradigm. Whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. But I think I'm getting wordy, and I don't want to. I don't want to. Fuck all that shit. But like I said, don't get lost in the old world. That's the whole reason I went on a little rant, because I hate saying choose sides because you got to be holistic, but understand this world is holding you back. The longer you hold on to it, that's what I'll say. I've been talking about this the whole time. Take what's valuable, get the fuck on. Get the jewels about get the jewels about the coal and get the fuck on. That's what I say is that's how I end it right there. And bro, I got a crazy ass frequency, nigga. My fucking ear is deaf when I said that shit. Shit's crazy. But deuces, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, thanks for sharing. That shit's so loud, bro. I'm out.